FilmoraPro Video Editor. Advanced editing, effects, and motion graphics made easy. This series of tutorials are going to show you the basics of editing in FilmoraPro from start to finish. Hi everyone, my name is Johnny, and in this tutorial we'll get familiar with effects. We'll learn how to use the effects panel, how to apply and adjust effects, and then we'll get to know some specific effects. So FilmoraPro has a lot of effects, which are in the effects panel, organized in folders. A great way to learn about these effects is by experimenting with them on clips and seeing what they look like. For this process, I'll recommend that you use the effects workspace. So we'll go to View, Workspace, Effects. On the effects panel, we can select if we want to see all of the effects, or only the video effects, audio effects, presets, video transitions, or audio transitions. We can select to sort them in ascending or descending order. And if we want to search for a specific effect, we can use the search bar up here. To apply an effect, we must drag the effect to the timeline and drop it on the clip we want to apply it to. The effect will appear on the controls panel when the affected clip is selected. Here we can click on the square to activate or deactivate the effect. If we click on the small arrow, the options for the effect will drop down. Here we can adjust the effect how we want, or we can apply a presetted adjustment to it. Most effects will also have controllers on the viewer screen. We can apply more than one effect to the same clip. The effect that appears on the top of the controls will be applied first, and the one that's on the bottom will be applied last. So if we drag the effects to change their order, the end result could look different. So let's make an overview of some effects and look at their settings. Let's start with the blurs. The basic blur effect will affect the overall image, similar to a lens out of focus. On the effects panel, we can change the radius of the blurriness. And you can see this setting has a circle on the left, which means that we can animate its value. To do this, I'll first set a value at the beginning of the clip, and click on this circle to create a keyframe. Then I'll move the playhead and change the value. We can see in the viewer how the blurriness gets stronger over time. The diffuse blur will apply a soft and transparent blur, like a dreamy effect. We can change the radius of the blur and its opacity. The radial blur will make a circular blur, like a spinning camera effect. For example, I've applied this to a drone shot, and I've animated the angle value. And the zoom blur will imitate a fast-moving motion blur. I've used it on this camera movement shot, and I've animated the strength value. Grunge Effects will give our clip an old or damaged appearance. Film grain will put noise on our clip to imitate old film videos. Halftone will imitate the printing method usually related to old comic books. There's a black and white and a color version. The shake effect will animate the position of the clip, simulating a camera shake or an earthquake. I've animated the amount of shake in this dancing clip, where the dancers jump. Lights and flares effects will imitate some effects of the light hitting a camera lens. For example, with the light flare effect, we can change and animate its position, scale, and pivot position, or we can apply a presetted adjustment to it. The generate effects will create visual elements on the screen. Vertical video effect is ideal when we want to add a vertical clip inside a horizontal video project. This effect will fill the black bars on the sides with information from the clip to get a better aesthetic. PIP, or picture-in-picture, will reduce the scale of the video and put it on the corner of the screen. This is super practical if you use screen recording and webcam in your videos, like on tutorials or video game playthroughs. We can change its place and scale. In the case of this clip, which has been recorded with a green background, we can also apply a green chroma key preset to make the background transparent. The letterbox effect will create horizontal black bars to simulate wider video proportions to give it some cinematic look to our clips. We can change the aspect ratio or choose a preset. The gradients and fill effects will fill the clip with gradient colors. But if we change the blending mode, they'll be applied as a filter. The temporal effects will change the clip based on time. Motion trails will create fake motion blur on moving objects without affecting the still objects. In this case, it affects the dancer but not the background. Speed will change the speed playback, and time reverse will play the clip backwards. So that's an overview of effects in Filmora Pro. To learn more about editing in Filmora Pro, make sure to check out our other tutorials in this series. There's no limit to what you can make.